Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fran. In this channel, I share knowledge and practical techniques on trauma healing and everything about mental health. So this is the second video of a series of videos of core beliefs to work on in order to overcome fear of abandonment. I've already made a video on the first core belief that all people will abandon me or leave me. I'm gonna put it somewhere here so you can check it out later. But in this video, I'm gonna specifically be talking about, well, all people will hurt me or use me. I'm gonna share the questions that I worked on under the guidance of my therapist that helped me successfully overcome this distorted thought. And I'm going to share some sample answers to help you better understand it. So let's jump right into it. For people with fear of abandonment, we always suspect the worst of people. We always suspect that there's some underlying negative intention towards us. So we become overly guarded and protective of ourselves. And I think there's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because when you are going like super vigilant, super guarded towards people, people can sense that you don't want to be intimate with them. So somehow they will get this signal and they will retrieve, and we get the proof that, well, they wanted to hurt me and I guarded them away. And it turned out they wanted to leave me after all. Some typical thoughts on this core belief includes, I always get hurt by people close to me. People will take advantage of me if I don't protect myself. People I trust will verbally, physically, or sexually abuse me. For people who have gone through traumas as children, who have been chronically neglected, abused, or abandoned as children, we have really good reason to believe that, based on our past experience, that people will hurt us, they will use us, they will see us as a tool, not someone to care and love. But the reality isn't always true. We were carrying this filter from the past to view the people right now. We are giving them definition. We're giving them bad intentions behind their actual intentions without seeing who they really are. One of my favorite trauma healing books is called Waking the Tiger from Peter Levine, and he described how trauma is formed. So when we're going through threat, our fight or flight response gets activated. There are a lot of energy still stored in our body waiting to be released, getting trapped by fear and rage. And we become hopeless, we become helpless. And this actually intensifies the cycle of trauma, because every time we learn that it's scary to face the trigger, to face similar situation, when we get scared to face this energy of anxiety, of fear, of rage, we learn to run away instead of letting this energy being released. So when we are doing this exercise, we're kind of going back to the past to experience this trapped emotions within our body. When in reality, if we look at it rationally, there's no reason we should act this way, but our body just automatically gets activated. The first question to ask is that, what are your standards or expectations for people to be safe? In this question, we're reviewing the standards and expectations that we have, and if they're realistic, or have we actually communicated those standards towards people that we want them to meet our needs, or we just automatically assume that they won't be willing to meet those standards, they won't be willing. And what is my contribution to the problem that people are not close to me? People make me not feel safe. For example, did I say something to hurt them? Did I intentionally withdraw from this relationship when I don't get my needs met? And that is my passive-aggressive behavior of expressing that my needs aren't met. Did I intentionally attack them, verbally or physically, just so to show my anger that you're not meeting my needs, instead of communicating this in a more effective way? I wanted to be very specific in listing out all those possible standards that you have that comes to your head. For example, this is my sample answers. They should always be responsive and available for me. They never criticize me, reject me, or judge me. They always fulfill their promise to me. I mean everything, the plans and promises. Never ask for things from me. Favors, material stuff, emotional support, advice, or sex. Never request me to do something that's at their best interest and makes them happy, even if it seems beneficial to both of us. I consider it as a selfish act because I feel like you are only supposed to meet my needs, and your job is to take care of me emotionally and physically instead of considering yourself first. So anything that benefits you, I consider it a selfish act. You should always put me as top priority. It means always consider me before you. Even if on surface it appears as I would go with that you need to take care of yourself first, but underneath I would secretly hold grudge and resentment against you and decide that you're not trustworthy. I would be very disappointed and be prepared to leave and push people away mentally. And I wanted to really reflect that were those standards originally targeted towards your parents when you were children? Were they met? Were those needs met? And how much did they satisfy your needs at that time? Did you actually mistrust your parents? Did they actually do something to deserve this mistrust? Did they actually hurt you? Did they take advantage of you or use you as a tool? Second question is that who has taken advantage of you and rejected you in the past? What are your feelings and emotions when it happens? What are your thoughts? What are some alternative explanations towards the way they acted at that time? As I've mentioned in my last video of overcoming the first core belief that all people will abandon me, I wanted to be really committed to this question, to take as much time as you need. For me, I intentionally set aside probably 2 to 3 days on this specific question because there are a lot of people I felt have failed me in the past. Even though consciously I know they are not doing it intentionally towards me, they are not trying to hurt me, but that's how I felt, and that's how I interpreted it, as that they are trying to hurt me. So I mistrust them and I push them away, and it's kind of just builds a cycle. You can constantly come back to this topic and revise it and add to this list whenever you think of something new, because if this fear of abandonment is so particularly strong, I believe there's a lot of energy that got gradually built up, and there might be a lot of tiny things that you interpreted as negative and it builds on top of each other. That's why we get easily triggered and suspect the worst of people. This is a simple answer that I did on my dad because he was the biggest abuser, and I believe that he contributed a lot of the portion of this problem because he would intentionally abuse me, shame me, and he would just tell me that you're no use to me, like you're a tool to me. This is very long, so I'm not gonna read it through. And if you're interested, you can pause and give you probably some inspiration about how to write this question. The third question is that who in your present is available and trustworthy to you, who have been caring and present for you. This is a very essential step as well. When we're trying to change a core distorted belief, we need to find as much as positive evidence to overthrow it, to actually look at the objective way that, well, things might not be the same as I interpreted it. The whole purpose of this exercise is to bring everything to your consciousness, because this filter has been impacting us in a negative way without us being even aware of it. We feel, well, this is how things are and this is how the world runs, but we never care to look at if it's real, if it's true, if it's beneficial to our development. So next time when we're trying to react to something, when we're trying to sulk, when we're trying to plan something vindictively towards someone because we feel like they're trying to hurt us and they're trying to abandon us and they're only use us as tools, they're not really caring and loving us, we can take a second and take advantage of the spaciousness because, well, there might be alternative explanations. We should train ourselves to not jump into conclusion directly. We should develop this ability of coming up with more alternative explanations for one thing, because not everything is about us. Everybody has their own struggles, everybody has their own emotions and needs. They all have their core beliefs impacting them to behave in this irrational way. So we should try to remove ourselves from the scene and try to step back and be more aware that, well, maybe we have an option of not reacting. Maybe we have an option to not interpret this in this specific way, in this negative way that's detrimental to us. All right, everyone, I hope this video is helpful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you wanted to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.